I wouldn't mind our current position. Alas, I am the jealous type. That's because you're the kind of guy who says alas. Alas, this is about me.
Wow, past me is funny. Okay. Hey Chais, it's Kai, and today, after literally years, we are finally doing Gregg Part 3.
Why are you such a copycat?
So, if you do not know, which you might not because like back when I did this video, I think I was at like 100 subscribers, now I'm getting closer to 800, it's been a while. Which by the way, hello to people, what are you doing? I love you, what's up, hello. But there's this very embarrassing, I feel like I'm already blushing. It's fine, I covered my face in makeup so you couldn't tell. I should have gotten myself some water. Maybe I should have tilted the shot down a little bit. Hey, you know what? I'm gonna adjust everything. I'll be right back. Okay, hello, I am back. I just needed to get some water and adjust yep. Okay, whatever. So, if you do not know, which you probably don't, but you might, because there is a series up on my channel, I'm just gonna close my laptop real quick, about this boy that I dated, and I call him Greg in the story times because back when I dated him, late high school, early college, well actually, technically I guess it ended right before college, but we'll get into that. I was convinced for some reason that he looked exactly like Gregg Sulkin. Not exactly, but I thought he looked so much like him, like it was crazy. Like, I thought I was dating like Gregg Sulkin's like brother. Like, you know, like are they like long lost cousins? I just don't know. You know? I don't. When your body just won't yawn fast enough. Am I right, ladies? I hate myself. Oh my god. Let me just check the shot real quick. This setup is very difficult. I was saying that this setup is very difficult and it's very hard to get around my tripod and then sit back down, and my camera interrupted me literally 2 seconds. It literally stopped recording again. Camera, I need you to not do that. As I was saying. So if you don't know, there is already a part 1 and a part 2 to this series up on my channel. You don't have to go watch those, but I think that it would be best. Like, you should definitely pause this video, go back and watch those. It's weird because it's like old me, like long hair, teal hair, hello hair. But it's just weird, like I feel like I was such a different person then, and it's like, I don't know, whatever. They're still enjoyable videos though. I was watching over them just so I could like remember where I was and get in the headspace before I started filming this. And they're very funny is the point, because it was such a weird relationship. Like, it was only 4 months, but I mean, it was my first real relationship, so I guess there's that, but it just, anyway. So, definitely go watch those if you have not seen them already, and if you don't want to, you're dumb. No, I'm just kidding. You're dumb? No, but if you don't want to, or if you've already seen them, or whatever, then you can even watch them out of order if you want. You can watch this and then go watch those if you feel like it. I'm not judging you. You're dumb? But yeah, I guess we're just gonna go ahead and get started. Am I right, ladies? That's a callback. Comedy. Is this even gonna be a cohesive video? I don't know. It's been so long since I've thought about him, let alone told a story about him. But anyway, okay, so basically, last time we left off after that bonfire party, and then he did the like, I'm the doctor, when he meant I love you, and then we tried to make out, and it really just turned out being super awkward, just like two open mouths and tongues just laying on each other. Go watch that. I'm telling you, go watch it if you haven't seen it, because it's, whew. If you like cringing, which if you're on my channel you probably do because that's kind of my brand these days, you'll like that video, trust me. But yeah, so we left off after that. It was like we got to my front porch and then he did the like, you know I love you, right, and dipped me, and then I went inside and slid down my front door like all dramatic, and my mom and my sister were like, good party? So that's what you missed on Glee. I can't even, like, I was gonna do a random, but I couldn't figure out what I wanted to do. It was like I was looking through my channel to see if I had any series that I needed to make another episode of, and I was like, oh my god, I still have to make part 3 of the Gregg Sulkin series. And here we are. I haven't really thought ahead. That was obnoxious. Let's get started. So, soon after that, summer came along, right? And I didn't have a car or a license. He didn't have a car. He just drove his mom's van all the time. But he also was like unreachable for some reason. Like, we used to text all the time. I mean, we would see each other occasionally, but it was like, he would come over to my house for like 20 minutes at a time and then leave. It was really weird. And we went to the movies one time, literally one time, I think to see like a Spider-Man movie or something. I don't know. We went like with some of his friends, and then we went to Wendy's beforehand or something, and then we just went back home. I went to the pool with him one time with him and his brothers, and it was really weird because his brother, like, I don't remember if he squeezed my butt or if he was just staring at it and trying to. I don't remember, but it was very uncomfortable. It was a very weird day. But that was the most time we spent with each other, like, at one time during that summer. I cannot stress to you enough that we barely saw each other, okay? Like, I was graduated from high school, okay? Like, I was about to go to college, and I went back to my high school to go to band camp over the summer. Not for me, because I was going to college. Band camp wasn't for me. Band camp was for the people still going to be at the high school the next year. I went to band camp to see him. The point is, I barely got to see him that summer. Like, we would text, but that was it. Like, we didn't really even have phone calls. I don't remember why. I know, like, phone calls make me anxious, but at the same time, like, I was dating him, so, like, I would have been more than happy to, like, call him, but we just never talked on the phone, and I really don't know why. So, it's getting close to the end of summer, right? I'm about to go to college, and I wind up texting him because I, like, had a lot of anxiety. I mean, welcome to my life, am I right, ladies? But, I just been thinking about it a lot, and for some reason, I just felt like something was off. It was like every time I tried to talk to him, it was like one-worded, like very short, like I barely got to see him. And again, like when he did come to see me, it was like 10-20 minutes and then he would leave. Like I barely saw him or even talked to him at that point. Oh, that's what it was. Oh my god, wait, okay, no, backtrack. So one of the times I went to go see him at band camp, right, it was really weird because I thought he was gonna be excited to see me because we'd barely seen each other that whole summer. And I think I don't remember if I had told him I was coming or not. But regardless, I showed up to band camp and I was trying to like say hi and like hang out with him in his free time. Obviously I knew like he had to do his drills and things like that. Like he couldn't talk to me the whole time. But he wasn't. He was just like, oh hey, what are you doing here? And like hugged me, and then that was kind of it. And I was like, oh okay. And then he was like, oh, I'm gonna go eat lunch with my squad. And I was like, okay, squad meaning like squadron, like the people like in his section, not like
I'm going with the squad.
Squad in like an actual band term sense, not like hashtag squad goals. I mean, he was in love with everyone in his squad anyway, so I don't think that would have mattered. T. Am I right, ladies? I hate myself. Okay. And I remember closer to the end of that night too, it was raining because it's North Carolina. When is it not? And so I was outside with him and I wanted to kiss him under the awning. Like nobody was even out there. Like we were just out there hanging out and talking. Like, oh, I miss you, I haven't seen him, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, yeah, no, I get it, blah, blah. And so then like I wanted to kiss him. I mean, we weren't in the rain, but like it was still like, it's raining. Like he, like I want to kiss you. And I don't think we kissed. I think he kissed me on my forehead again. I'm not really sure. Honestly, I don't really remember. But I remember at one point like I laughed because he said something and I like laughed and he was like, whoa, okay, calm down now. I'm sorry. Craig. Did you just say calm down? My two least favorite words in the English language, calm down? Wow. Am I right, ladies? If I ever make merch, that's what it's gonna say. Am I right, ladies? But yeah, I don't know. Like, I remember getting really offended at that because, like, first of all, I'm kind of a loud person. Like, you just know that. I mean, okay, I'm not a loud person. Like, I'm generally quiet, but like when I laugh, it's gonna be loud. Like, and back then in high school, my entire personality was like this. Like, I put this on for my camera because like I like being like this, but also it's exhausting to be like this 24/7. And I found that out because in high school, I was like this 24/7. Like, this is what you're doing. This is what you're dealing with. I just smacked myself in the ear with my earrings. But like, if you know this is what you're signing up for, how dare you tell me to calm down? Like, I remember being very upset about that, but also just like I had a weird vibe because the entire day it had just been kind of weird. It was like anytime he did have free time and I would try to hang out with him, it was like a lot of pushback and just like kind of like, oh god, why are you here? Like it felt like I was like not his girlfriend, it felt like I was like his younger sister who his mom was like, yeah, you can go if you take your little sister. It was just, I felt like a burden. If you're a burden, I'm a burden. It's okay. I'm struggling. Oh my god. Oh. Fast forward a little bit, I had just been growing more and more anxious about this situation, and I don't think I talked to him the next day, but then after that I was still trying to like text him like casually, like as we had been, and there were just like no responses, and anytime he did respond, it was just like short and like one word, and like that was it. Again, I didn't feel like his girlfriend. I felt like a burden. I felt like I was texting someone who did not want to be talking to me at all, did not want to see me at all, but would still like drop by my house for like 20 minutes to like sit with me with his arm around me on my bed and then go back. Okay, so end of the summer, right? I'm about to go to college. We're literally 7 days away from the day that I move into my dorm. And I finally decide, you know what? I just need to talk to him about it, because otherwise I'm just gonna keep sitting here and like in my head being like, no, it's fine. Remember that one time he said that he loved me like literally 3 months ago? And honestly, that's just a miserable situation. So I finally just decided I'm just gonna text him like a normal person. I would have called him, but I didn't have the idea until it was like 8 p.m. So I texted him like this little paragraph. I was like, hey, like I just want to make sure everything's good because I feel like everything's been a little bit off. Like it seems like you just like don't really want to talk to me anymore. Like, am I crazy? Am I making it up? Like I just need to talk to you about it because like I don't know, like this is weird. I feel weird. He didn't respond that whole night, which okay, fine, whatever. But then I woke up in the morning to a text from him, and when I say a text from him, I mean I think it was actually like 5 texts because I had one of those like slide up like 3-touch keypads, you know, the ones where like if you want to do like C, you have to touch like that number 3 times to get to C. I'm over explaining this, but whatever. So he sent me a super long text message back, and I finally read it whenever I woke up, and it was basically like, no, you're not making it up, it's not in your head, but like I think it'll be fine. I just need some time to myself, and like I can get over it. Like it's fine. Like I just need to push through it, but like I just feel like something's weird and blah blah blah. And like I wish I remembered exactly what it said, but I do remember him specifically saying like, I feel like I can't have a life outside of you. Like, honey, your life has been outside of me the entire summer. Like, what do you mean I don't think I can have it? Like, you're not hanging out with me, you're barely talking to me. Like, it's been like this for a while now. And he also told me he'd been lying to his parents in order to hang out with me. I really don't know why, because I never asked him to do it. Like that was his own problem. Like if his parents didn't want him to hang out with me, he could have said, my parents don't want me to hang out with you. But I don't think that that was the case. Probably, oh, it's 4:44, that's a lot. The point is, he sent me this whole long text message basically being like, you know, I think I'll be fine. I just need to like, you know, sort it out in my own head. But what do you mean sort it out in your own head? If you can't stand spending time with someone, it's time to leave. So I texted him back and I was like, I never asked you to lie to your parents, first of all. Second of all, I've barely seen you all summer. I don't know what you mean by you need more space and you can't have a life outside of me, because literally that's the only life you have right now is outside of me. Like, yeah, like I have a boyfriend, but I never see him. So do I really have a boyfriend? My response was a little bit emotional, because of course it was, because how do you respond to that? Like I've been anxious for so long and you haven't been talking to me. Finally, when I send you this whole long text message about it, like all you have to say is like, I'll sort it out, I'll be fine, don't worry about it. Like you're not crazy, like it's real. Like I don't want to talk to you, but like I'll sort it out in my own head. You just have to like leave me alone for a little bit. What does that mean? I'm 17 years old. You can't just say that to me. I don't know what you're trying to say. So yeah, so I sent him a text back. It's a little emotional, but it's not like accusatory or anything crazy. It's not like I'm demanding too much. I'm just like, I need to talk to him about it. I need an answer. I was like, can you call me or something? Like, so instead of doing anything else, of being rational or calling me or anything else, all he said is,
well, if that's how you feel, then I think we should break up.
Oh, so I'm 17 years old. I'm going to college in 7 days. My boyfriend, who's been ignoring me all summer, is mad that I want to talk about why he's been ignoring me all summer, and now breaks up with me over text message while I'm literally, I'm not even kidding you, I was sitting in the backseat of my mom's SUV. The whitest thing I've ever said. Sitting in the backseat of the SUV while we're driving to go to the store to get me new clothes to move into college. It's supposed to be a good day, and instead I have a text message on my phone from my boyfriend being like, hey, we should break up because you want to talk about things. Well, okay, I'm not bitter. I'm just like, you're dumb and you're an asshole and you're not justified. That day was bad. I got clothes, but I was like crying the whole time. It's fine. Anyway, so we're gonna fast forward a little bit to when I lived in my college dorm. It had been a couple of months, and this is so
Icky.
Because there had been a conversation at one point where like we were trying to talk about it and I was upset because it's a shitty thing to do, and he said he was pretty condescending sometimes, okay? I know my past 2 story times have made him seem like a Prince Charming, but he was not. So during this like heated conversation that we were having over text messages. He was just like, listen, like, I'm not gonna talk to you if you're gonna treat me this way, if you're gonna be like hostile or whatever. Like, I don't need that in my life. Like, talk to me again whenever you're not gonna be hostile like that. But eventually, me being the dumbass that I am, apologized. Yep. Did that. I shouldn't have, because I had nothing to apologize for, but you know. But I did apologize. I was like, listen, like, I was just really mad, whatever, and like, I do want to be friends, so like, let's talk like people now, and blah, 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 and put it behind us, new start, blah, blah, blah. And we really didn't talk about how everything went down again, which was really just a whatever. I'm not gonna rant about this, okay? So, we actually did start talking, semi-regularly. Like, honestly, it's kind of ironic, but we started talking a little bit more than we had when we were literally dating, but okay. And I remember that was back freshman year of college, obviously, when I used to go home every single weekend, and there was one weekend where there was a show we were gonna go see. It was a play. I think it might have been Footloose, the musical. I think I went with my friend Sam, the one that I mentioned in the last one. Sam, yeah. She and I went to go see that play, and then we happened to run into him there, which was crazy because I didn't know he was going. It wasn't even at our high school. Like, it was at a different high school, the one that did like most of like the district-wide play stuff. It was like the artsy school that I really wanted to go to, but I never did because I never even applied. Minerva, that is not a toy. Get down. Editing this is gonna suck. There's been so much just like dead space where I'm just like staring at the camera or doing something else. Like, I just had to get my cat off of my light. It's fine. Anyway, so I saw him before and after the show, like out in the lobby. The first time was like by accident. Afterward, I think he was like waiting for me, and like we started talking and whatever, and he was like, do you want to hang out? And I was supposed to be getting a ride back home with my friend Sam because she was the one who drove me there. I think my sister came too, but I don't really remember for sure. And I was like, yeah, so I asked my mom and she was cool with it as long as I was home before midnight. And so we decided to hop in his mom's car, the same white van that he was driving before. And we went to Pinkberry. Or was it the other frozen yogurt place? I don't know, whatever. We took his mom's van to go get frozen yogurt. It was very weird. So we went and we got the frozen yogurt, and then we sat and ate it in his mom's car. Like, yeah, I don't know why we didn't sit in the, like, I feel like we sat in the place for like 5 minutes and then we took the rest out to his mom's van for some reason. So we sat in that parking lot for like literal hours, just like sitting there talking about everything about life, about like how college had been and how high school had been, and like we both had crushes. He had a crush on Frankie from before, which we knew, but it had just like grown. I had a crush on a guy who, I don't think I'll ever tell a story about him, and I'm not sure if it would matter, but whatever. I had a crush on a guy that I knew that year, and I'm still kind of friends with now, so it's fine. But we were just talking about like crushes and things like that. It didn't matter. And then it started getting close to like 11:30ish, and I was like, ooh, like, you should drive me home probably. So he drove me home, and once we got to my parents' house, we were like sitting out in the front yard talking before I had to go inside, and he was telling me about some like weird experience when he was like with Frankie, telling her about the stars or something. This is a scene, by the way. You guys will see it. Oh my god, wait. I just realized, holy crap. Okay, so I'm doing another series on my channel right now. This is totally unrelated, but I'm doing another series on my channel right now where I'm reading the first novel that I actually wrote. Not Scott, because that was a novel. This one was like a novel, but like not good. But there's a scene in there which is literally just this exact night that I'm talking about, and I just changed the names. It's fine. Look out for it, okay? Because it's coming and it's gonna be great. And I'll reference this video when that happens, okay? Got you. Subscribe.
Turn on those bell notifications so you don't miss it when I do.
Anyway, so we're sitting outside in my front yard, and he's telling me about like this thing with Frankie and how he like can't tell her that he's in love with her because what if she suddenly doesn't want to be his friend anymore? And then like, even though she knew, like, he's told her so many times like, I'm in love with you, like, will you be my girlfriend? And like so many times she had said no, but like he kept thinking that like, oh, her feelings have changed now, and they changed now and now, because she would be nice to him and show that she loved him and was affectionate toward him, even though they were best friends for like 8-9 years, something crazy like that, So we were sitting outside talking about that, and I was like, well, you have to just say it, like, you know, you have to tell her, like, if you think that there might be a chance, you gotta tell her. And then he was asking me if I thought that there was a chance with the guy I had been talking about beforehand. So I was like, I don't know, obviously nothing ever happened. Am I right, ladies? Hang on, I need to turn on another light real quick. I forgot that it's February and the sun goes down at 5 p.m. Basically, basically he was about to leave at this point and was like, you know, it was so good hanging out with you, it was so good to see you again, blah blah blah. And then he went to hug me and we did the typical, like, I did the this thing and he did the that thing, you know. And then he pulls back and he doesn't like let me go, so I'm like, okay, I guess we're just gonna stand here like this. This is fine. Maybe a little weird, but fine. And he starts talking like really fast as if he's like having a panic attack, and he's just talking about like how I look so great and I'm like curvy and like he's not supposed to want things and things like that. And like he winds up rubbing his hands over my butt, like, and I don't mean just like grabbing my butt, like, okay, his hands are like on the small of my back, right like around my waist but on the back, and he doesn't like grab my butt or anything like that. He goes like that, like just really fast. And meanwhile he's talking about like it's so round and blah 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 and all these other things, and I'm just standing here like, I didn't sign up for this. I mean, it low-key felt good in the moment in a vindictive way, because I was like, you're the asshole who dumped me over text message and now you're like groping me outside of my parents' house. I never asked my mom if she ever looked out the window and saw that. Ooh. He also did the same thing to my boob at one point, but it was just like he brushed like the side of it. It was just like that kind of thing, like just like frantically speaking. I'm just like, whoa, it's okay, like it's fine, it's human nature. This is weird. And eventually we like move a little bit closer to like the driveway, because we were straight up, I'm not even kidding, we were straight up standing in the middle of the front yard. It was very weird. So we like moved closer to the driveway, and then like he goes to like hug me again, and then when we went to pull away, he didn't let go, and then he leaned down and kissed me, and I was like, oh, sorry, what? No, I didn't say that. I mean, I let it happen. I stood there kind of like, oh, okay, now you're just gonna kiss me in my front yard right after talking about this other girl that you're in love with? Like, sir? So, it's very weird. Obviously, it doesn't feel the same as it did when we were dating, because there's no, like, romantic connection anymore. I'm still kind of, like, bitter and spiteful toward him, and he has just been talking about this girl that he's still in love with, who he was in love with at the same time that he dated me, because he didn't think that I found, oh my god, I meant to say, I did find out around that time, I don't remember if it was that night or a little bit before, a little bit after, but I did find out that when he decided to ask me out, she had already turned him down a few days before. Once again, for some reason, this catch was the second choice. For real though, that's messed up. So he breaks away, and instead of just like, oh, that might have been a mistake, like a normal human being, starts shaking his head, and he's like,
It wasn't the same! It wasn't the same! It wasn't the same!
I have never been known to be the more calm and sane one in a situation, at least not back then, but oh my god, he's like having a meltdown, and I was just like, nope, it wasn't. And then he's just like,
We should never do that again!
and I was like, okay. And then he's like,
I should go!
and I'm like, okay. And he's like,
We're still friends though!
I was like, okay. And then he just got in his car and left. At this point, it's a little bit past midnight, and I walk in the living room, and instead of just being like, that was weird, and going to bed like a normal human, I sat up in my living room. Like, my parents went to bed, I stayed in the living room, not in my room, and I had a room there at the time. I didn't go to my room, I stayed in the living room with the laptop open in the literal dark. I think there was like a TV on, but I kept it muted because I didn't want to hear it. I just needed light in the room. But literally, other than that, it was just dark and just me and my laptop, and I just typed out this whole scene, and by scene I mean I literally just wrote down exactly what happened, like word for word, like wrote down quotes. But yeah, the point is that happened. It was very weird. I didn't tell either of my parents about it. I don't even know if they know that that was ever a thing, like ever. Like, I never said anything about it to either of them. And that also wasn't even the end of it, because after that, like, we were still texting and like pretending like everything was normal. It was really weird. And then he would like randomly either text me or message me on Tumblr and be like,
Hey, like, maybe we should be like in a casual kind of relationship, like we can like...
He never actually said anything specific. Oh my god, wait, I wonder if I can find this. Hi friends, I just spent about 30 minutes going through my messages, and I swear there were some that I remembered saving, not saving, but like I never deleted them, and like I could go back and look at them, but I scrolled through so many, and I did find like at one point I was talking to somebody else, like I have this like regretful night. Also, I was like super angsty about it for some reason. Like, I was convinced I had like manipulated him, and I was like so much to blame, when no, like actually this is the next thing that I was gonna bring up, is that after that he kept either texting me and being like, hey, like nothing's gonna happen with me and Frankie over here, and nothing's gonna happen with you and what's his face, so like maybe we should like have a casual relationship. Like never really laid it out specifically. He had said it over text messages. I think that's what I was looking for, but no, he said that over text, like on my phone, not on my Tumblr. But we had talked about that, and like when he suggested it, I got all mad, and I was like, no, like I don't want to do that, blah blah blah. And then after a little bit, I was like, hey, actually maybe we should. Then he got all mad, and he was like, actually no, like how could you even ask me that right now? Like no, I don't want to do that. And we literally went back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Meanwhile, still telling each other about our crushes, because it was like supposed to be like a meaningless thing. And like I did find a message at one point where he was like,
when I'm vulnerable is when the lust comes back.
as if it's like a disease, like the blob that comes rolling into the rib, you know, like flubber or something. The lust is flubber. Ew. But yeah, it was very weird. But I did, however, go on my old Tumblr, my text post Tumblr, not like my regular Tumblr with all the like reblogs and everything else. This is the one that I basically, was like an online diary, and I went way back to right after it happened, and I thought I had posted like the whole scene, but I guess I didn't. And there are two posts that are like right next to each other, and I remember one of the messages I was looking for was like after I posted these, he messaged me and was like, hey, like maybe we need to talk about this because I feel the same way, and like maybe it is that way, blah blah blah. And like we had like a conversation about it, but it was like because he messaged me on Tumblr after I posted this on Tumblr. Why was Tumblr the pinnacle of our relationship? I don't know. Not the pinnacle, but you know what I mean. The conduit, whatever, I don't know. I know fancy words. I went to college. Am I right, ladies? I'm sorry. But anyway, I couldn't find that message for some reason. I don't know, like I said, Tumblr updated and it's all weird now, but I'm going to read you this. It's two like short posts, but I'll read them because they were angsty and obnoxious, and I didn't want to like spend 30 minutes searching for something just to come up empty-handed. So we're gonna read this cringy old post. I don't know if I could do this with a straight face. Maybe we're all in an endless state of being lost. One that no one ever gets out of, and we will forever be spiraling down and around and left and right and up and diagonal and torn apart by the universe. Its decaying claws leaving marks on our bodies, imprints on our thoughts, and rotting our brains until we all become a great big nothing and break down into dirt ourselves. And the only hope that we get, that we will ever get, is the hope that maybe someday we'll find someone in that black hole of despair to be lost with us, not really to look for a way out, and not even to be each other's way out, but in order to not be so lonely in the darkness, because when the dark consumes you, it's at least better to have someone there with you to hold you until it's all over, isn't it? Me at 3 in the morning shuffling across my room to go to the fridge and get a snack. And then the second post, and this one has tags. I'm relating myself to the stars because they are not a way out. They are not going to give all of the answers, but they get asked anyway, don't they? They shine brightly anyway, don't they? Did I just compare myself to a literal star? So what I'm saying is, I'm lit. I'm fire. I hate myself, am I right, ladies? They are not a beacon of light, but they look like they are. It's all a disguise anyway. They put on a bright front, a twinkling, intriguing, beautiful glow that attracts the attention of the unsuspecting traveler and leads him to think that all that matters is here and now, and what the stars look like and what they're saying and what happens right now, because there is no tomorrow, and the sun doesn't matter because they're all here right and now, and they will always be here right now in this moment, in this memory, and they're all playing a sick, twisted, selfish little game called pretend so they can get what they want before they move and shine brighter and then burn out, falling from the sky like a falling star, I gasped, pointing up. That actually, I did see a shooting star that night, and apparently I was real angsty about it. And here are the tags. Because I really am selfish and sick and manipulative, and I'm kicking myself because I'm stupid and idiotic and dumb and dense and dim and futile and moronic and mindless and twisted and selfish, and who do I think I am anyway? I'm just half-witted, idiotic, daft, inane. Wow! First of all, chill. Which is something he would have said too, so we're just in the spirit. No, but like, okay, I sat there like as if I was the most manipulative person on the face of the planet for when he was like rubbing my butt and my boob, but only like slightly, and like having like a breakdown about it instead of being like, oh, you're right, you shouldn't be touching me. I was like, no, it's okay. Like, why is that the worst thing in the world? Like, he's clearly like wanting something, and instead of just being like, yeah, you are an awful person for touching me, I was just like, no, it's okay. It's human nature. You can touch it. Oh my god. But that was literally all I did. It's not like I was like, sex. Subliminal messaging with copycat. copycat. Oh my god, I am not right, ladies. I'm just like, I don't know how I managed to turn it around in my head, or he managed to turn it around in my head, that I was an awful person because he kissed me and he groped me, and instead of being like offended by it, I was like, no, you're okay, it's human nature. Like, why was I so guilty that I'm like, I'm idiotic and inane and daft and stupid and moronic and daft and stupid and moronic and daft? I know big words. I went to college. Jesus. Am I right, ladies? Okay, that's gonna be the end of this video. I was gonna say that's gonna be the all, because I was gonna say that's gonna be all and then gruel, you know? It's not Wednesday, but I'm wearing pink. Actually, it is Wednesday when I'm posting this. See, on Wednesdays we wear pink. So this has been Gregg part 3. I think this is the end of the series. I don't think there's enough to do like another story time. Like anything else has just been like little like messages here and there that were like, like a little bit cringy, you know, but that's really it. After that, at one point he got a girlfriend in his new college, and then they started dating, and suddenly he never wanted to talk to me anymore, which just means that the whole reason he was talking to me in the first place was for one reason only. And also a weird thing I noticed when I was reading through the messages, even then we were like really close friends. Like we had said that like we were close. I think at one point we had said like we were like best friends or whatever. I said it in one of my messages, like, yeah, like we broke up but we're best friends now, like it's fine. Like a message to somebody else when I was telling her about that night. And I just like, almost all the messages were me being like, oh my god, that's so cool, I'm so happy for you, like asking about this and this and this, like tell me about that, does that mean this and this and this and this. Like I was trying to have a conversation and he would just respond. Like he never like asked anything about me. He never was like, oh yeah, and what about this thing? Like it was like if I offered up information, he'd be like, oh cool, that sounds great. That was it. And then he would respond to what I said. So it was like, I always started the conversations, which I also should have noticed from the beginning. I don't know. Anyway, that's all for this video. If you have not seen part 1 and part 2 yet, go back and watch those because they are also very entertaining. Thank you so much for watching, especially to this week's Shout of the Week. Across the screen right here, you are the bomb, and I would never break up with you over text, okay? I would call you. Sorry, that reminds me of a message that I saw earlier when I was going through my box. So he was saying in this message that he was gonna give a note to Frankie telling her that he liked her, or he was gonna like tell her or whatever it was. Like, I don't even remember, but it was like gonna happen. Like he was gonna finally talk to her. Oh no, he was gonna give her a gift or something, whatever. Basically, he was gonna confess his feelings for her as if he hadn't already done that like once a year. For like every year of the friendship, it's fine. But whatever, I was still being super encouraging, like, oh my god, do it, like that's so exciting, whatever. And he was like, oh, I chickened out, blah blah blah. I was like, oh no, sad day. And I was like, well, if nothing else, maybe you could call her. And he said,
no, I want it to be face to face. It has to be face to face. I can't just call her to tell her something like this.
Oh. So like, important conversations have to be had in person for you, right? Never over the phone or text message, maybe? Never? Not when they mean something to you? Is that what you're saying?
got it. Good to know. Wow. I'm gonna go read over more of my old angsty posts. Anyway, that's gonna be about all for this time. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you have not already. Give me those thumbs and share this video if you like me. Please, it was very uncomfortable to go over. Who am I kidding? I live for this shit. This is actually very fun for me. But subscribe, like, and share anyway. And if you're still here, leave a comment down below that says moronic. On Wednesdays, we're moronic. Okay. Stay cool, my dudes, and I'll see you in the next one.
Why are you such a copycat?
The one thing that parts 1 and 2 had that I can't give you this time and it really needs is a toilet flush. Bye, Greg. Bye.